the sky. Super like a summer, don't you think so? Super like a summer from the get-go. Don't forget about the rest though. Jump, jump, jump until you let go. One time to take your body back. One time to sail offshore. One time to take your body back. One time to catch me at the all-go sand. And your tippy toes running to the waterline. It's just the heat on your tummy and the oil for the shine. Super like a summer, don't you think so? Super like a summer from the get-go. Don't forget about the pesto. Jump, jump, jump until you let go. One time to take your body back. One time to sail offshore. One time to take your body back. One time to meet you at the encore. Take your body back. Down, coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome indeed to Gino's Spot on Tuesday night live, every Tuesday night live, and that's me. I'm live here tonight. I am, of course, I've got my new outfit on. I don't know if you like a bit of love, showing a bit of love because we need a bit of love as a city. We've changed our mayor yet again. Oh my soul! So we just interviewed the mayor, and now he's not the mayor anymore. So I don't know if it was a show, but hello, Denzel Baidu. Nice to have you on board tonight as well. With of course, just saw Denzel at the Spar. There we go. The Spar Most Beautiful Challenge. This one was the virtual challenge. No more virtual. It's the Spar Most Beautiful Challenge. That is the run that basically it used to be called the Spar Ladies Run at the beachfront this week, which this last Saturday, which was amazing fun. It was just fantastic to have a live run again, because the virtual ones, we had to do it, and it was the only thing we could do. Thank you, Wendy. Did you like that? That's my new one. I think this one going to be for my Latino lover, I think. But everybody's looking at my jacket. I like it. I've got my snappy jackets, man. That's what I wear. I've got a whole pile of them. And so we ran the race this Saturday. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Valentine's jacket. That's right. It's Valentine, ready for the 14th December. All cuddled up in bed with a cup of tea. Lovely. I'm so happy to hear that, Camilla. People, I wish I'm going to actually cuddle up in bed, maybe with a glass of wine or something. I don't know. We'll see. And watch some Netflix tonight after this as well. And well, you can cuddle up and watch a little bit of Gino Spot tonight. And you were saying, I've got the run was amazing. To be there, I was sharing MC duties with Mafa from Mhlobo. It was amazing. Mafa Bavuma, what an amazing guy, just full of energy, awesome. And of course Alec Riddle was there. Alec Riddle was who does the eye in the sky usually for the comrades, and he was there giving his outlook on things, and or just he's got great knowledge on the runners themselves. So the Kenyan ladies won the 10K, which was I think in 31 minutes. I think it was 31 minutes and 25 seconds or something. It's like loony. 3 minutes and 10 seconds per kilometer they are running for 10Ks. So, 3 minutes and 10 seconds a kilometer, if you try and do that, like even for 100 meters. I don't know, like 90% of us couldn't do that. So they run it for 10Ks. And so amazing times. And it counts as well because, of course, you run into the wind and then with the wind because they had a bit of the wind with them. But it was nice to have a tailwind on the way back. So incredible times. And then, of course, the 5K, which was just for the jollers. The jollers pulled in and a bit of walk-in, bit of running, bit of whatever we needed to do, and so that was fab fun that on Saturday. So I'm sure it's going to grow because it was incredible. Soul Good did the sound. It was really great, and the huge screens. The stuff you can do these days is just great, amazing. And of course, Early B was there, and I got him, and I've spoken to Early B, and he's going to be popping onto the show as well. Early B is a legend, especially in the northern areas. There, the guys, he does this rap. Afrikaans is a language that you can use for rap. It doesn't, to sing a love song in Afrikaans, I don't know. It doesn't work because it's quite, it's like German. It's got that sort of choppy edge, with the chs and the ts and the grrs and the, but the, here we go, doing 3 minutes, 10 seconds per glass of Obies. Good for you, Albury. I think, like I said, it was incredible. These acts. Now I was talking about something. What was I talking about? I was talking about. You've put me. Gary's put the comment on, and it's put me right off my train of thought. Anyway, don't worry. Thank you, of course, to our sponsors. Spar have been amazing, and with the Spar challenge this weekend. Thank you for that too. Just getting people together and getting them fit and getting them organized. It's great. And then also, a couple of announcements on 25th of June. On the 25th of June. Oh, I was talking about Early B. That's right. But 25th of June is going to be London to Lorraine. London to Lorraine is as far as I see, it's a thrifting market, and it looks like it's really picking up a bit of pace. It's at the Rothmans Riding Club, out on in Lorraine. And Georgina Hounsfield is organizing that. She is an amazing chef. She's an incredible chef, but she's doing all these different things. And I've got to have her on at some time to have a chat to her as well. I think she's going to be very interesting. So Early B, what I was saying is that the Afrikaans is a fantastic rapping language. It's like German is. Remember Falco with Rock Me Amadeus with rapping in German and Der Kommissar. Love that stuff. So Early B has just mastered that whole rapping thing. He's just so quick. He's amazing. All right, let's have a quick look at some of the comments coming in as well while we're here. Tell me what you're doing, where you are, and what you're up to. Let's see. I think we have got a couple. Beth, thanks. Nice jacket. Thank you very much, Beth. Beth, of course, a bit of a runner herself, so I remember correctly. Catherine Liebenberg, you're so too matching. Oh, I'm matching a little bit. Well, purple and red. I don't know if it really fits. It really fits there. And no, and then this week has been a hectic week. I was all over the place. I was down in Cape Town. We did the women's challenge. The final one was the women's challenge, but I was in Queenstown. We did a golf day for Hemingways in East London. So I popped up to Slummies. So how's it to all the Slummies guys? Tell me where you're watching from. I'd love to know where everybody's watching from tonight. Of course, tonight we were going to have Siyolo Dick, who is the head of Spar Eastern Cape, here tonight, but he has fallen ill. So instead, what we have done is we have found one of our fantastic interviews from a little while back with Arnold Slabbert, and we've put together a quick one for you guys, a little recap for you guys to have a look if you haven't seen that one already. But in the meantime, we have been having a lot of rain. I don't know if you guys have noticed in PE. There's been a hell of a lot of rain as far as I can see. But has it been raining in the right places? And has it been raining, properly in the right spots and the right amounts for us to get anything out of it? Well, we're going to find out about that because we've got the Weather Guru live tonight. He's our live guest tonight. The Weather Guru, Garth Sampson. Let's get his intro going. Garth Sampson, cheers to you, Garth.
Cheers to you.
Cheers, fantastic. Lovely to have you on. And Lorraine, my tanks are overflowing.
Yeah, I don't know how live I am. It's bloody cold. And don't you,
You're not
and don't you like my Kurt Cobain jersey? The
Very
swampy
nice.
thing?
Very
Which my
nice.
wife-
Come
my-
as you are.
My wife knitted it, but she hates it.
Oh,
I
really?
love
Oh, she knitted it, but she hates it. That's
I'll wear it the whole of winter.
it's art. It's art. Tell her it's art.
Tell her. She's watching.
Tell her, Elmarie. Absolutely fantastic. I think it's a wonderful jacket, Elmarie. Very, very nice knitting. Very, very good. It's a dying art, the knitting, you know.
It is.
But tell us,
It is.
Garth, I believe that there's a record. It's a world record. What kind of record is it this May? Come on.
Oh, go. Okay. Remember the key word May. If Gary can throw us the slide there, and then we can have a quick look at it.
Let's have a look. Oh, there we go.
It is the second wettest May since 1935. In
1935. Pre-war.
Yep, we measured 268.2 in 1935, and this year up until 2 o'clock this afternoon, we measured 192.5. Yeah, we've had another 0.6. It's just not enough to top the record that you see at the bottom. The 313 millimeters measured for the first 5 months of this year is the wettest since 2012, when we had 314.8 for the same period. So we need 1.5, and we've
in
had
2
that
days.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's touch and go if we're going to get that one. But that is fantastic.
Well, after last night, maybe.
Yeah, no, that was up until now. But
It's up to now.
we've got to get that tonight. Unfortunately, it was mainly in the bay, the rain, but we can look at the dam figures if Gary can throw them up.
Yeah, that's the catchment area. Because that's
area.
always the case. The catchment area, where you always say there's nothing in the catchment areas. Now, is there now?
Can somebody hashtag Darren Mann?
Yes, please.
It's amazing. What we are getting here is little bits of rain. And you can see, if you know the Langkloof, Haarlem is virtually the furthest point. And there we got between 17 and 22 millimeters. And in the south, at Karedo, we got roughly about 10 millimeters this morning. So that is actually quite good. It is not copious amounts of rainfall, but that ground is absolutely saturated. As we can see, in parts of Karedo, we got 100 millimeters for the month thus far. So that is absolutely fantastic. So they got well over 75 on average over the Langkloof for the month. So that ground is wet, and anything that's running off is running off into the dams. And I've got it on good authority that the Koga Dam is filling at a rate of between 0.5 and 0.8% per day. Note the word filling and rising. We were seeing that it was dropping at 0.5% per day. So now this is the opposite. Good, absolutely good news. But if Gary can push to the next slide.
The dam levels. Yes.
Yeah,
Tell us about the dam levels.
We can see there that the Koga Dam at current level is sitting at 22%. Right?
Okay.
And then you take the dead storage. We won't look at the dead storage as such. The Churchill at 32% is fantastic. Remember, the Kocha Dam is not really our dam because, remember, agriculture's got a very big
Yeah.
part of it. The Churchill is
Yes.
actually a dam. Let's skip a
Yes.
ball for. And we go to
Yeah, okay.
Grondal is
What?
sitting at 73, it looks like there.
Yes,
And,
yes.
But remember, that is Kariga Jutnag Dispatch.
Okay.
The eastern half, not us plebs in this part of
Grundal.
the-
So, Kariki Yukna Dispatch. What about J Bay that side? Is that also off the
The
Grundal?
J-Bay, that side is Kocha, sorry,
Kocha.
Churchill,
Kocha
and
Dam.
Porfor. The Luri
okay.
Dam is what they call a balancing dam, a holding dam.
Yes,
So,
yes.
you see it at 70%, 90%, forget about
Yeah.
it. They let
It
the
needs to
water
go
from
somewhere else.
No, the water comes from the Kocha Dam. They put it into the Luri Dam. They process
Okay.
it and send it through to the bay.
Oh, I
So
see.
that
Okay,
doesn't go.
okay.
But the sad news is, if you look at the Balfour Dam, it's at
Yeah.
6.9%. And 6.9% is still dead storage. So we can't extract water from that dam. And that is the sad news. And that is for St. Francis, Jeffreys,
Yes.
those areas. So, yes, we've got this rainfall that's coming, but it's a good thing that the Kocha Dam is going on up.
Yeah.
But I've just got one concern. I looked at the figures today. It's wet outside. Why
Yeah.
are we using 281 megaliters for the last 7 days, and we're only supposed to use 230? What are the people doing with the water? I just can't understand it. You know that Cape Town's in a drought. They're using less. No, sorry, they're not in a drought. They're not in a drought. And they are using less water than is allocated to them. They're using 38 megaliters too little water. And we're using on average 70 megaliters too much water. And we're in a drought and they're not in a drought. It just I know people are storing water those water in your tanks. If it overflows, it's going nowhere. Use it. It saves you money.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any comments over there, Gary. I can't see in the comments coming in on my side, unfortunately, but I know there are some comments. But yeah, so I mean, it's just the biggest dam. Then is it basically the biggest dam that's the emptiest at the moment?
The two biggest dams are the Kocha and the Imporfor.
So Imporfor is still
the Imporfor's got a very small catchment, so it actually relies on the Churchill overflowing into the Imporfor Dam.
Yeah,
but it's not there yet. Listen here, we have pushed day zero back, most definitely, but it's
good
for us to work together.
Yeah,
because remember, we move into an El Nino cycle, which could give us good rain. The experts say
drought.
Could be, no, a drought over the summer rainfall regions. So the experts say that there's a good possibility of extremes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that could be extreme flood, extreme heat wave, whatever.
Yeah.
But the problem is that this will put pressure on the Gerib Dam. Which is summer rainfall. Thunderstorm, summer rainfall. And if that dam gets too low, are they going to send us 230 megaliters a day? I don't think so.
Oh, that's the Nooit Gedacht pipeline. Is that the one?
Does say.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is we're almost there.
All right.
I feel it not scientifically. I feel it in my bones that we are maybe moving to a wetter period. We have to at some stage. But we must just work together. I see there isn't the big contributor to the fact that 50% of country. Yes, the amount of leaks that have been fixed is absolutely fantastic. It has gone down tremendously. But also remember, Cape Town's also got leaks. Cape Town's also got non-build users. They've got the same problems as us. We're not unique. You know, and it's just that we've got to work together. I
wonder if it's industry or what? I mean, we'd have to. I don't know how you'd find out. You know, how do you find out who is using this water that excessively, or is it just is it really the people? Because there's always the argument, we can't possibly as private households use so much water, but it's possible.
I can't remember the exact figure. Is it 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 people that are using more than 35 kiloliters a month?
Okay, so they're watering their gardens and they're just doing whatever.
I don't know. And there's a lot of people, and they talk about the municipal leaks. I always ask the question to any interviewer: how often do you read your meter?
Yeah.
And most say once a week, once a month.
Yeah.
You cannot save water unless you read it every single day, unless you're off the grid.
Okay.
The one premises I've got, I read it every day. The other one, I read it once a month because my tanks are connected. It's just to send it through. But read it every day, because I had a leak one night on a toilet, 5,000 liters. Boom.
Oh!
God. 5,000. I wanted to cry.
So you got to check. I'm sure.
Check every day.
There we go. Cape Town has billboards on the highway say save water. Perhaps makes people more aware of the bad. I don't know. I also see our ones as well. I do. We had some signage up. I saw that as well. I think we just got to, you just got to buckle down and check your meter as well. You're right.
Yeah,
because it could be all sorts of things.
The big thing is, like I've always said, I'd love to take the media, famous people like Gino and the like, just to take a walk. But I'm not going with, because the last time I was there, I got bit by a spider and I suffered for 3 weeks.
Oh, so you send me, yeah?
Yes. Go to the bottom of the Impor Dam. Just stand there for 10 minutes. Just take it in how arid, how dry, how hard that soil is. And then look around, and you see water in the distance. And then come and tell us, just imagine if all the dams were like that. And it's quite possible. It's just to get there's still lots of people that don't believe we're in a drought situation.
I know that it just doesn't seem to touch them. In the Herald, they publish examples of wasteful usage, and some schools were using more than 100,000 liters due to leaks. Wow. Yeah, that's true. We need, if you nail those top users as well, you probably wipe out a lot of that stuff.
Incidentally, I know that particular case, and we worked it out. That was completely wrong, because we worked out what size pipe you'd need, and there's no size pipe that big to
that kind of usage.
A billion error. Yeah, the reason I'm so pedantic is I got 140,000 Rand water account. Because they estimated my water at 1 kiloliter for 3 years. And they hit it all in one account. It's impossible to use all that in 1 month.
Yeah. Jeez, that's loony.
It is loony, but we've just got to play our part. We're almost there. I feel it in my bones. We move into a wet period, and all the forecasts say so. Let's just fight this last little battle in the last. We're on the home stretch. We're on the home stretch.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much, Garth. You've been always a fountain of information and water. Thank you so much for coming on, man. And we'll see you in the next one.
You too, and have a lucky evening, bud.
Lekker, you too. Cheers, man. Ciao. There we go, Garth Sampson giving us a little bit of good news there. So we just hope it keeps on raining, and it needs to rain that Impofu Dam. We need to fill up that Lemon Dam. And it looks like the next time, any time it rains from now on, it's going to be turbocharged because that ground is already wet. Fantastic, good news. All right, so now we're getting to the meat of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's we've gone back in the history books on Gino Spot, and we found Arnold Slabbert, who gave us an incredible interview a little while back. Really interesting, and he's a jack of all trades, but his heart is in looking after the animals and especially the wild animals that come into town that interact with us, and he's an amazing guy. Have a look, enjoy Gino Spot, and we'll see you live next Tuesday as well. Live next Tuesday for I think it's we've got Dave Leverington coming on next week, and then on the 13th we have Siyolo from Spar, our MD from Spar, coming on as well. So we've got a couple of weeks packed in for interesting guests on Gino Spot. So enjoy Arnold Slabbert, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you. Thank you to our sponsors, Spar, Fitch and Leeds, and of course Amobia for our internet. Wakachoo! Fantastic to have you on the show.
So there's no action replay if I say things. Eh?
No.
Be careful.
No action replay.
No, you're not going to cut.
It's live. It's live. But there's no rules, with this. And we've tended to have great conversations before, and nobody's got into any deep trouble yet. Yet.
Why do we have a locust problem?
Yeah.
Overgrazing.
Yeah.
Locusts are at their best in overgrazed ground. In fact, it stimulates them to breed. They go for it.
How does it work? They lay their eggs in the ground and just wait until it rains. What?
Okay, so go back to my conservation days 30 years ago.
Yeah.
All right? Was that long ago?
Jeez.
No.
I
I thought I was 21. What happened there?
No, you're
Jeez.
clearly not 21.
Okay, so anyway, so I go back to my conservation days. So now I'm walking a fence, Utenag area, right? 4 kilometers of fence. 32 bat-eared foxes and gin traps on the fence. You know those slaghuises under the fence.
Yeah.
Set by the stockman for lynx and jackal, because they're killing sheep and goats.
Yeah.
Go to the farmer and say, listen, what are you doing here? Yeah, but jackal and lynx eat a sheep of mine, and there's no ways I can allow that. Yeah. What do you think aardwolves, bat-eared foxes, all of those creatures do? What do you think they're digging and eating and all that kind of stuff? What do you think a lot of these birds do that we have persecuted to the edge of extinction by all of this poison? Yeah. They catch locusts, they dig eggs, we're killing ourselves, and then we all say, oh, woe is us, look at this amazing plague. We're the plague. There's only one plague, it's humans.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is, even though we're a plague, we will not accept responsibility for our actions, will we? We'll always blame something else. And when the time comes when we need to take action, we don't want to take that action. We'll rather stand back and hold ourselves holier than thou and let someone else do the dirty work and then criticize them for doing that dirty work and saying, well, So I think we were discussing earlier. So let's get into the topic of problem animal management, which is actually what I do for a living.
Okay.
So I need to look holistically at problems. Now, believe it or not, I do problem animal control. I do bubonic plague monitoring, collecting bubonic plague sampling. And lately I've been forced into quite a bit of rabies stuff because rabies is everywhere.
I'm brought any with you, rabies or things with bubonic plague.
Yeah, probably the plague. I carry the plague around with me in my back pocket. Let's just see if I can find it here. Oh, there's plague here somewhere. So, just as a matter of interest, plague broke out in 2 places in South Africa initially. And it was in 1900.
This was Black Death, basically.
Black Death, yes.
Is that rats?
Is that politically correct?
No. What it was called the Black Death in the 1600s.
1600s. Just be careful of those terms nowadays.
Yeah.
So let's call it bubonic plague rather.
Plague,
The plague.
Yes.
Yeah, so Black Death. Okay, so what happened is in 1900 it broke out. Now the interesting thing, it broke out in 2 places. Port Elizabeth, Cape Town. Okay. The reason it broke out is rats were brought with horse feed, blamed the empire for horses for the Anglo-Boer War.
Okay.
And there was a station at Kruger, right? And in the Cape as well, in Cape Town.
Yes.
Right, so the horse feed was brought in, black rats came with it, they spread plague, we became plague endemic. So there's I've picked up plague samples fairly regularly now. So I know exactly what to find, what to look, but the thing with plague is it's not that deadly nowadays because we've got good antibiotics to handle it. If you know what's going on and you treat it, you should be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Unlike rabies. Unlike rabies. Very much unlike
I seem to
rabies.
remember an outbreak in the 80s, which was hectic. Was it in
How
the 80s?
old are you?
Oh, I remember the 80s. I was a teenager then.
No, you're
But I
right. No,
remember.
you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
There was an outbreak of plague in the 80s, yes.
And I remember seeing those pictures on TV. It was quite terrifying.
So anyway, so this stuff all lurks in the natural environment. So the problem is that I have to play two roles. I love saving wildlife. It's my hobby. I have great fun doing it. I see them. I cannot even tell you half the things and half the weird things that happen. And some days I go home and I shake my head and I think, don't know how I made it laugh today. And it happens quite often like it.
I'm sure.
So
What kind of strange? Okay, while we're there, come on. What kind of strange animals have you picked up in the urban areas? I mean, I always think like, what?
okay, let me tell you one of my greats. That's from quite some long time ago.
like that.
Right, so I get a phone call from the police.
Yeah.
There's a bush pig, right, in a garden in Kammer Park.
Just like. Okay.
So then they phone me again. There's a bush pig in the house now in Kammer Park. So it's now 9 o'clock on a Sunday evening. So I get to this house in Kammer Park, right? Yeah. The police lights are flashing. There's cops with R4s standing on the wall. The owners of the house are outside the property, right?
Yeah.
So I said, no, bush pig's in the house. This not impossible, eh? There are bush pigs all around, so it's not an unusual thing. Oh, okay, well, let me go and have a look. I didn't have to open the door was wide open. Walked inside and there was a bush pig sitting on the couch watching TV. I mean, can you make this stuff up? No, you can't. Right? The bush pig was sitting on the couch watching TV. So the guy, I looked at this thing and I looked at him and I thought, pig, you someone's pet. So I scratched him behind the ear, and a proper bush pig, not a warthog or anything, a real bush pig, and a big one too. Yeah. Scratched him behind the ear like that. Yeah. I said, hey, come, let's go. And he walked out behind me, quite happily following me. And you could just see the deflation. The cops let the R4s drop, and they all climbed. Everyone went, and that was someone's pet that got out. But it was hilarious at the time. I mean, you come in, and here's the pig sitting on the couch watching TV. Absolutely fascinated by TV.
Is it good to domesticate something like that? I mean, it's a wild animal, isn't it?
Things do happen, and people end up with these animals. They end up with little piglets, sometimes deliberately, sometimes just by accident, and they become really, really tame. And pigs are quite intelligent, so they can provide great, but they do become dangerous as time goes by. And warthogs are particularly mean. A lot of people keep warthogs and domesticate them, but they're mean buggers. So you've got to be careful.
I mean, a warthog's a good.
When I look at the city, there are a couple of species that I regard as distinct problem species. Yeah. Egyptian geese.
Really.
Right. So
Philip is going to hate that one because she had lovely little Egyptian geese.
Oh, please.
But
I've raised thousands
of
them. I love them. They're cute. They're entertaining. But let me tell you one thing about Egyptian geese that very few people don't know. Yes. I get a phone call the other day from a school. Right. They say, Arnold, can you help? So I said, what happened? No. They had a pair of Egyptian geese and they had youngsters. Yeah. Youngsters got into the pool. Yeah. Right. Another pair of Egyptian geese came and they killed all those youngsters just like that. Egyptian geese are extremely aggressive.
Really?
Right. So one of my big problems is they keep attacking the owls in the nest boxes.
Oh.
Right. Okay. They are bold enough to try and the only birds of mine in my raptor nest boxes can withstand Egyptian geese are the peregrine falcons. They can take them on in a fair. But birds like rock kestrel and that, they throw the eggs, throw the chicks out, and they take over the nest boxes. So now you look at Egyptian geese. If you went back 30 years, very few Egyptian geese. What's changed? All of the agricultural land suits them.
Yeah.
Their aggressive nature, because they take over a single body of water, and they then proceed, and they will kill other ducks, other ducklings and that. They will take over that water, and they just dominate. Yeah. And their capacity to breed, their breeding is never endless. There's no breeding season for Egyptians anymore. They breed the whole year round.
Sure.
So every time you look, there's 12 goslings. Now, the sad thing is, sweet and kind humans.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Let's throw some millies. Let's feed them. Let's keep them going. So what happens? Instead of nature sorting them out to a degree where when you have 12 babies, very few of them survive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But no, they're raising 8 and 10 youngsters, and now we've got, instead of 1 or 2 babies a year surviving, and not only that, they're double clutching because there's lots of food in that. Yeah. So now we've got 20, 30 babies. So as a result, we're sitting with 5, 6, 7, 800 Egyptians in a flock. So okay, so now you have to look. Now you've got to look at the much bigger picture. Now we're talking about the city. So all over, all of these dairy farms and that have thousands and thousands of geese coming in. Right.
Okay.
So if you look in America, one of their big problems with their water reserves is the vast amounts of geese defecating in the water, because they virtually pollute that water to the extent that it's non-drinkable. So they have to have active elimination programs 24/7 to control the geese numbers.
Holy
You know?
crap. Okay.
So the problem is, you can love animals as much as you want to, but you also have to be realistic, and we have to control numbers in a lot of species, because not only are they negative to us, but they're negative to other wildlife species. They're negative to the environment. So now we look at crows.
Yeah.
Highly entertaining.
Yes.
Except you've got a black bag of rubbish ripped all over the place. Have a look at something else about crows.
Yeah.
What do? They mob and attack all other birds.
Really.
Right. So what happens is, you get a flock of crows, they'll find a young owl, they'll beat it to death, they'll kill it and eat it. They have no problem doing that. They do it often. I get called how many times? Owl wing smashed by crows, crows ripping along, owl chick they've caught, they've beaten off the parents, they take it. Why have we got so many crows? Because of all of the waste. The worse the waste management gets, the more the crows are. Right?
Yeah.
So now we sit with this problem, and what happens? What is the right way to do it? You've got to control them. So what do some idiots say? Western Cape, well, the crows are a big problem, they're affecting a lot of other birds, we'll have to put out poison for them.
Aye.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That old crude fabric. Crows' numbers have to be controlled. I found them highly entertaining. I rescued one. I call him Jimmy the Saint. It's one of those white-necked ravens. If you ever seen the size of the beak on that thing, I tell you, it's quite impressive. It's about the size of my hand, literally. They're massive birds.
They are big. There's about six
So
or
you
eight
get
of
the
them
pied
over
crow, you get the black crow, and you get the white-necked raven. And the white-necked raven's massive. He's the big guy. He's virtually pitch black, and you'll see he's got a white collar around his
Oh
neck.
wow! Okay, yeah.
But he's a mean bird.
I think there's some of those up here in the valley as well. I see that, and there are about 6 of them. Is that they're going in groups or?
Yeah. So, and the other interesting thing is, crows, anywhere vultures feed, are a major menace. They mob the vultures, and they actually mob them off the carcasses because there's so many of them. So they're actually having a negative impact on vultures as well, and vulture feeding. When owls have a really good nesting site, they're not going to come and hop into your box and say, oh, well, God, I like this place. But it works very well in a circumstance maybe where you don't have nice big trees close by, because I've seen them attached on the side of, in Lorraine, I've got 3 attached to the side of buildings there, and they've all got owls that breed in them every year. So you can attach it to the side of a building quite high up, or that. But if you've got really big old dead trees, the owls are not going to just come wandering to your
We've
nest
got
box.
an oak tree here, which we put up in the oak tree.
You can put it up.
It's been there for ages, but no bloody owls have come near it.
Because are you hearing owls?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, well then they've got a good site, so they're not going to use your site. Along here they would probably use the cliff faces and that. Are really nice. They would probably be breeding there. So if you want to hear a good story about an owl, old guy phones me. I want to put up an owl nest box. So I give him that classic information. Get it up as high as you can, 4 or 5 meters up. Put the box, face it the right way, etc., etc.
Yes. What's the right way to face?
Okay, face it. It's not in the prevailing weather.
Okay,
blah.
Okay.
A year later, I get a phone call from the old guy. I've got my box up, but one of the babies is sick. Will you come and have a look?
Oh.
I kid you not. He put the box up. I don't even think it was a meter off the ground. The damn owl's bred in it. After me giving all of those careful instructions, 5 meters up,
And he gets
facing
it right.
out the window, he puts it on the ground almost, and the owls hop in, they're breeding it. I was so disgusted with those birds, really. That's the problem with animals.
taste.
You know when you know nothing about wildlife, and you say, it'll never do that. It's like kids, horses and dogs. Right? Never say it'll never do that. Wildlife will do what it chooses to do. So when you put an owl nest box up, I like 4 or 5 meters up. But like I say, you put it 1 meter off the ground, the owl's breeding it quite happily. And there they wanted a suitable nest site, and that was good for them. It's in an area where there's not a lot of pressure, so they could breed quite happily there.
Oh, lovely.
I get a phone call. Now this is just after this crown eagle went through the house, grabbed Kitty out the other side, did it 3 times, 3 cats, Grim Reaper.
3 cats.
So I get a phone call from your suburb up here.
Yeah.
Listen, this house should be on top billing. I've never seen a house as magnificent as this. I felt like a peasant getting to the gate. Right? There's almost like a butler to greet me. Anyway, the story is that a large eagle had come into the house, right, attacked them, and they'd had to get out the way. So, of course, there are crowned eagles in the valley at that time. So I'm thinking, juvenile crown, this is now the real stuff. You know, I'm pretty chuffed now, juvenile crown, trying to take a kid, one less human, blah, blah, blah. It's interesting record. By the way, crowned eagles have got quite a nasty record with that.
Really?
Yes, in the forests of Zaire.
Yeah, really.
You know, you get the pygmies that do the forest, the slash and burn. What do? Take the baby off the back, put it in the shade of a tree, small baby like that. Adult female crowned eagle will take on a 3/4 grown bushbuck ram. I actually watched one day. Listen, it broke a road down the side of a cliff, literally knocking everything over, rolling with a bushbuck ram. So they're mean predators, and the youngsters are quite aggressive. They're not shy to take. I had one that I trained, a male. And eventually I released him back into the wild because he wanted to take my dogs all the time. As you got, you know, Mr. Big Boy, then you thought, no, I like these dogs, I might have a dog flapper. Anyway, point of the matter, so now we come to the house that is the mansion beyond mansions to save these people from this vicious eagle.
Yes.
Right? Now, please, folks, I mean, there was a color TV probably bigger than your window on the wall. You know, all of the, you can imagine the scene. All of the decor and stuff. So in I go, I march in. Here's this lady. She's got 2 kids hiding behind her, terrified. For shame, you know, these kids have been through real trauma. The crown eagle's pretty mean, you know. You've seen those set of talons that big, you know, chasing the kids around the house. Anyway, going to the kitchen. Where's this vicious bird of prey? Right, no sign of it. So, where's this bird? No, they think it's gone into the pantry. Going to the pantry. I kid you not. There was a baby Naasnaluri, a pitch-back baby Naasnaluri. And you know what Naasnaluris do when they're scared? They jump in the air and they bite at you like that. Well, you know, I looked at it and I came out with it under my... In fact, that Naasnaluri had its own story, but I came with it out on my arm and I thought, you know, this is why the world's screwed. This is why the world's screwed, people. This is where we go.
They can't fly very far. So
no, it was a baby. It couldn't even fly. It was still a downy. It didn't even have proper feathers. Just a little black puff going trying to bite everyone to protect itself.
And is that true that they can't they have to go down, or they don't go very far. They live in the valleys or in the valley because they can't fly very far. They have to be at a higher level to go to the next level. How do they move around? You know,
that story is very similar to the story of the whakawi bird. You know the story of the whakawi bird? Oh, there we go. Where'd you come on that one? Those things glide pretty well.
Yeah,
you know,
they do. I've seen them glide nicely, but I mean, don't they have to be higher than they were before? So they need to have tall trees.
No. I can tell you how I gained my.
Yes.
Listen,
I was told that. I won't even bring up who told me that.
No, rather let's leave that one out of the thing. Right, so I've raised more than the odd Naasnaluri, and they're highly entertaining. So I'll let one go out of my garden, because I would like to see it come back every now and then, say hello and how things, etc., etc. Now this one, it was destined for death. I've never in my life seen such a dumb bird. Okay. You know? Because what it would do, now my whole area there has raptors second to none, and a Naasnaluri is hardly a speedster of creation. Right? Yeah, no. So it would come gliding from a big blue gum across an open field, like 300 meters of open field, where every peregrine falcon that's sitting on a pylon watching just sees a snack coming underneath to come say hello to me. And eventually I was too scared that the Luri would see I was in the garden, because if he was over there, he'd just come gliding and I would go, oh, where's the peregrine now? Where's the peregrine now? Anyway, so he survived and then he disappeared. And I thought, okay, well, you got eaten, boy. A year later, I go to a guy in Benkama. He's got a poison owl in his garden. He says, you know, pick up the owl's poison, okay, etc., etc. He says, you know, before you go, I want to ask you something. He says, I've got a Naasnaluri that visits you, and it's got a ring on it. I said, oh, is it?
No way.
And he says, you know, it loves my granddaughter, and she goes outside and she calls and waves a banana and it comes to eat. That's after a year that bugger was still bumming off people. I had a couple of really mean experiences, Rattle. One of the saddest experiences was, and I'll tell you one thing, the girl got roasted, but it was, pisses me off the way people drive in town. Yeah. Right. Someone in Lorraine managed to ride over a honey badger. The most magnificent female honey badger. Now, you should be doing 60 k's an hour or less. Yeah. You know? You would see that. Anyway, they killed it, son did. That still broke my heart. But I've had a number of really mean calls with honey badgers. And, I mean, they deserve the reputation. Yeah. Because you will get honey badger, and honey badger will look at you and say, oh, thank you for saving me, off I'll go. And then you'll get one that'll say, listen, I'm going to sort you out. I just don't like what
really
you did
don't
with
like
me. You and I are going to have a little conversation about this.
They're tough, those little things.
So one night, listen, far tougher than you. I know how tough those buggers are. I've seen what they do to wire mesh and everything. And they are very destructive. So beekeepers hate them with a passion. And they really knock those hives and tear big holes and destroy hives. But anyway, I love those creatures. They're among my favorite because basically they've got a pugnacious attitude and they walk around permanently with their finger in the air to humanity and say, take that. I get a call one night, Seaview Road, 8:30 at night, quite a miserable night. The guy says, we've seen this animal, it's not by a car, it's black and white. Okay. It's like those things you see on National Geographic.
Yeah.
Right?
Skunk.
No, I like those things. So when you talk about Seaview Road, there's a lot of big black and white bushbuck rams.
Okay.
Right. So my first thought, it's a bushbuck ram that's got hit by a car. So off I go to go and see what's wrong, see if it needs to be euthanized, whatever's got to be done. I get there and I see the people, they said they'll wait for me, and I see they're standing on the back of the bucky. And they're peering over the road. Now it's pitch dark, right? So I stop, I say, where is this animal? And they point like that over the road from safe distance. And with that I hear this kind of low, angry growl coming out of Port Jackson next to the road. Needless to say, I go to the back of the buckies and grab a net quickly, grab a net that I feel is suitable for the job. I come around the front of the bucky and this rattle comes out the bush. He chases me for 100 meters down Seaview Road, but right on my heels, snapping.
What is this thing? It's
honey badger.
Is it also
rattle.
called rattle? Okay.
So he chases me down Seaview Road, right? In the pitch dark, I'm running with a rattle on my heels. Eventually, he tires, I tire, he goes off into the bush, right? And he's still mumbling and growling and that, and he walks off. I've actually got a video of a rattle, and you can actually see the teeth behind my heels that's chasing me after I released it. But not all of them. Some of them you just got to get the right one. It's that right one that says, listen, I've had a bad day and you've just made it worse.
Screw you, man. We always, last couple of questions, always your most embarrassing moment or your most moment where something's gone completely wrong, and then your proudest moment. I know it's a tough one to just quickly spring on you at the end.
Okay, it was not embarrassing, but it was quite funny. It happened during my conservation career.
Yes.
So I get called to the Holy Rosie Convent.
Oh, yes.
Now there's a big...
It's Philippa's school. That's where my wife runs her school from now.
Okay. There's a big male baboon, and he's been terrorizing the city for days.
Holy moly.
Right, so he's in the school grounds.
Okay.
Right. So my boss's instructions are, Arnold, he's got to go.
Shoot it. Yeah,
He's a danger, he's got to go. Go and do your job.
Yeah.
So I get to the convent. Now, all those nuns, Mother Superiors, they phone me.
Oh, yes. Bless you, my son.
Bless you, my son, etc. That kind of stuff.
Name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
So now the whole thing is, right, that I need. Oh wait, I've got an even greater. You're going to love this one. But I've got an even better one. Okay, so the whole thing is that I need to do this without disturbing the children, blah, blah, blah,
or the nuns.
So, and when you're a young guy and your boss has told you what you got to do, you're very careful. In those days, we had respect for the chief. He told you what to do and you did it properly. So I haul a semi-auto shotgun out, jack some shells into it, right? And I'm now sneaking past the school buildings.
The shotgun.
But I'm trying to sneak with the shotgun, right? So I've got it against my side and I'm sneaking, and the next thing, a window pops open and Mother Superior pops out. Now what can I do? Right, so just be blunt. And she looks at me and says, you here for the baboon, my boy?
What you doing?
Yes, I'm here for the baboon. He says, I see you're going to dart it. Now, meanwhile, I've got this whole handful of shotgun shells. The shotgun full of 12 gauge. So I said, I'm going to dart it. But now, I'm starting to get a bit, now I can see already, the boss is going to have people phoning and saying they witnessed this bloody action. Anyway, I said, but they're very dangerous when they darted. Right? So just keep the kids inside and keep everyone inside. Needless, I go and there's the poor old baboon sitting in the top of a pine tree and he's watching me, I'm watching him. We have a brief moment where our eyes cross and I shoot him stone dead. Drops out the tree, boom, on the ground. Now I've got to get the dead baboon down the alley, right, past all the classrooms,
Mother Superior.
back to my vehicle without anyone seeing. I've got nothing to carry the baboon in. I've got a shotgun and a dead baboon. Now, how do you get that back to the vehicle? So I thought about it, okay, well, pick up the baboon nicely, like a baby. Picked up the baboon nicely in my arms, shotgun across here, now I'm walking. And I can feel the sweat running down the back of my neck because I don't want to offend people and have them phone the boss. And I've got the stone dead baboon with his head lolling. And I can feel the blood running down the inside of my shirt.
My word.
I kid you not, I get halfway, the window opens, and I look left and I look right, and there's just kids' faces stuck against the window or watching, and the Mother Superior. And she says, "Oh, you've darted him." I said, "Yes, keep quiet, he's sleeping. He'll wake up, just keep quiet." And I promise you I was rigid as I can. I was absolutely rigid carrying that baboon down the alley. And every window there were kids peering at me like this. And I could feel the blood running down the front. Anyway, I got it to the vehicle and there was never anything said about it. Obviously he darted. And she did phone a couple of hours later. I said, "No, he's come around, he's fine, he's gone again."
It's all right, the Catholics could handle a bit of blood.
Okay, here's an even worse one. I get called 3 years ago. Sunday afternoon, Helenvale.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I'm telling you, we're talking gangster paradise now.
Okay.
There's a monkey trapped in a tree in a schoolyard. Let me tell you, you have no idea. Drugs and alcohol really make them go wild. So these guys are tossing rocks at the monkey. But you've got people standing on one side of the tree, people standing on the other side of the tree. And the rocks are going, bricks and rocks are going left and right, over the top. They're really hitting. And of course, when someone gets hit on that side, then they, instead of throwing rocks at the monkey, they start throwing rocks at each other. Now imagine this, eh? You've got hundreds of drunk people. Literally, there's thousands of people there. The whole
There's a jaw happening.
Everyone's there. Everyone in the whole of Helenvale's there.
Yes.
The cops are there. The riot unit's there. The animal anti-cruelty league's there. Everybody's there. Right?
My word. And the monkey in the middle of this.
And the monkey sitting in the top of the tree. There's no hope for catching him, etc., etc. It's just there's only one way the monkey's got to go, but he needs to go so he doesn't get mauled and injured, because they really do. If they get a hold of it, they maul them. Okay. Anyway, so the monkey's in the top of the tree. So I take my trusty silence .22 out against my chest. Now I've got to go. And listen, the police actually have to clear the way because they are going ballistic. Yeah. There's just no control on them. They're almost uncontrolled. And the stones are flying and the bottles are flying and it's just going wilder and wilder. So I get my way through the crowd with the police's help. Now I get into the school grounds. First you got to lock the gate, go in. Now when I start walking, I just hear this chanting behind me. Sniper, sniper, sniper. Sniper. So the whole lot are just chanting. Sniper, sniper. So now I get into the school grounds. They must know, hey, this is not something I get paid for. This is I've got to do a favour. Animal Anti-Cruelty League said this animal's going to be badly injured. You need to do what's got to be done here. Okay. Get inside. So the kind lady from Animal Anti-Cruelty League comes to me. You know, Arnold, these kids see so much violence. Yeah. Can we not? I said, listen, the monkey's in the top of the tree. There's nothing I can do. You know, the monkey's not going to come any lower. He's going to stay right up high there. I've got to take him up from the top of the tree. Anyway. Now it's getting even wilder and there's a hum and everything. She says, listen, can you not do it in a way that they can see nothing? I said, no, it's impossible. I mean, it's an open school field, one tree, 5,000 people around, banging against the thing, throwing rocks and bottles. What can I do? So I take a nice rest on the side of the building, aim, beautiful shot, headshot, the monkey drops out the tree. Hits the ground, but as it starts falling, you just hear this crowd chanting. Skid on dat sy kop, bar, skid on dat sy kop. The whole lot of them are chanting. These little children are all chanting it. Obviously, the way they brought up in the game. It was frightening. It was a frightening indictment on the area and the people. And you have to have sympathy in that kind of environment. I mean, how did those children get brought up? And that's what they're all saying. You know, forget these children are not used to violence.
Thank you so much, Arnold. You're fantastic.
It's your time to shine. We're gonna have a like a chat tonight. Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have